Hi everybody, my name is Carrie and welcome back to another video. I'm so sorry guys, we are in the dark. I have been trying to record a little bit more during the daytime for you guys, but it is just not gonna happen. And tomorrow I was planning on doing all this recording and then I have somebody coming over who's gonna be spending the night, but actually because we don't have spare rooms, has to sleep in here. So by the time I started thinking, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not gonna be able to record. I'm not gonna be able to be in here. So I needed to like sit down and record this because if I don't do it now, I'm not gonna be able to do it. I have so much yarn in boxes, guys, that I want to show you guys a yarn haul and everything, but I'm gonna wait to do that till after this person leaves because I think in total it's gonna be like 60-70 skeins of yarn, and at least right now they're all in these like really big Hobie bags and it's like very contained, versus I know once I do this yarn haul the yarn is gonna be everywhere and I need to make sure my room is sleepable for somebody, so I'm gonna do that after this person leaves. But if you guys don't know me, my name's Carrie. I run Traveling Pony Studios. I usually try and record during the day lately, but we're doing this at 10 p.m. Who needs sleep anyway? And I'm gearing up for my first market of the 2025 season. Guys, I cannot wait to show you. I mean, I don't know, it might be at the market, but I think I found the perfect setup with the box crate situation. So last year I used so many crates in my setup and I hate the crates. I don't think you guys understand. I used to bring like 10 crates, right, to a market. The problem I have with the crates that you see everybody using is the depth. Like, it's really sunken back. There's a lot of like space in the back, so a lot of times when I'd put certain items they'd get like pushed back, and then I don't really think people could see it. It's kind of like dark in the crates, so a lot of times people never saw the products that I was actually putting in the crates. And now that I've been doing this for so long, and let me show you guys real quick before we continue. Guys, this isn't even all of the plushies I have. I have all of those big guys. If I can finish some of these guys. I also have flowers, and I also have what is in that box over there that I'm still working on because I have about like a week left to the market. And I still have all that stuff, so like, you can see I have a lot of plushies, right? The problem with the crates, I used to bring like 10, like I said, and they take up so much space, especially considering like the fact that I do use boxes. I've considered doing the storage things, but like other people don't want to do it, aka the person who helps me. She's like, I don't really think it would be good. I want to do it because I feel like it would take up less space in my car. If you guys don't know, I drive a very cute little Ford Explorer. Her name is Dora. But she's not a big car. I mean, she's not a small car, but she ain't a big car. The crates would take up so much space, and so I think I have finally found a collapsible version of this setup from Amazon. I'm not gonna link it until I know it's actually gonna work, but I kind of set up the things today and it's so easy because there's literally no setup. Like, it's all you do is just like unhook it, boom. But they are really big shelves, which is perfect because I have so many large items. I was so worried because there was no way I was gonna be able to display anything with the crates, especially my large items. First of all, they wouldn't fit in there, and two, they just like would get sucked back. So I'm super excited about that. But I'm not here to talk about that this video. Today's video is the continuation of what I am kind of doing to upgrade, I don't know, my whole booth setup or my brand going into 2025. The first video I showed you guys, I got the custom stamps done. It was very cute. This time around, I've got two products to show you because I just don't honestly know if I'm gonna have time to record all of the videos I need to record before my market. Like, I need to record the yarn unboxing, I need to record product things, I need to like record the wrap-ups of my testing stuff. Like, I need to record what I crocheted in a week. Like, I just don't know if it's gonna be possible. Honestly, I might forget to do some of these things, but I wanted to come in here and at least record this so I can show you guys some of the things, because once I get into markets, like, all of this stuff is gonna get packed away. I literally have a market pretty much right afterwards. This market, you know, on Saturday. Sunday, no. Monday, I'll go to the venue and set up for a private event, and then Tuesday, Wednesday I'll be at a private event for like 4 hours each day. Then I have a break until May, Mother's Day weekend. So, but I got a few things, and like I said, I'm super excited for that one thing, but that's not what I'm here to talk about. If I sound at all, I don't know, like nasally, please ignore that. I was just crying. I'm gonna tell you, working with feels like bliss when you're crying is not that fun. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I feel like ever since I started crocheting, I watched so much more like TV, movies. I used to never watch stuff. And so I ended up going ham and I got like all of the subscriptions, like Max, what is it? AMC Plus, because I love Interview with the Vampire. So I got it just for that show. Stars. I'm a historical lover. I want to get PBS. Please don't do it. Max and Hulu, Netflix, Amazon Prime. So I feel like I'm catching up on all the movies I missed, and for whatever reason, I was watching that Logan movie because it was on Max, and it just made me like break down at the end. And it was funny because I was crocheting these arms for this plushie, and this feels like bliss, and I mean like my eyes were like filled with tears. They were blurring, and then like I couldn't see the fluffy yarn, and it just made me mad. Oh, so I apologize. We're gonna get through this video though. So the first product that I guess I will show you guys is, let's start off with, I'm trying to decide if I want to stand up first. Oh, ignore my blanket. This is where my dog sleeps. So the first thing I have right here is I ended up deciding to get a table runner, guys. Now my whole concept of this is I was kind of going back and forth on it, but then when I saw that I was going to be doing that indoor event, I realized that I'm not gonna have my tent set up, which means I'm not gonna be able to put my banner up. And let me tell you guys, the thing about that banner, when it's windy, I would honestly prefer not to have a banner at all because it can be so scary when you have one of those like massive gusts come through and like hit the banner and it kind of like pulls the tent. Now granted, I am one of those people that's crazy about weighting. I have weighted sandbags and then I also have the round discs. So like my tent's weighted, but I'm in Georgia and for whatever reason it is so windy here sometimes. So a lot of the markets I do, the wind is usually like 15 to 20 miles. So sometimes having a banner is a little sketch. So I did go ahead, especially with this indoor market, like I said, and get a table runner. So let me stand up. Oh, she looks cute. So ideally this will go, I don't even know, on a 6-foot, because I'm changing my whole display now with this other thing, I don't know where this is going. But it has my logo. I hope you guys can see it because I can't see it. And I did end up deciding to go white because, I don't know, I'm gonna regret it probably because it is white and I should never be allowed to be around anything that is white because I make a mess out of everything. That's why even with my barn, I'm like, I refuse to wear any nice clothes to my barn, of course. And I typically refuse to wear any like light colored clothes unless they're like barn specific clothes, because even when I try not to get things dirty, that lasts for like about 2 seconds. So I got this table runner. Originally I was getting it for my 4-foot table, but I think I might have read the measurements wrong. And I feel like that if I did do this for my 4-foot table, it would probably take up most of my 4-foot table, which I'm not saying is a bad thing. I'll still have my normal, what is it, like the, I want to say weighted, they're not weighted, but you know, the elastic tablecloths, I'll still have that and everything. But the colors ended up coming out super great. And this was another person that I ended up doing from Etsy. So I think the whole thing, like the table runner itself was not expensive at all. I mean, definitely if you're gonna get a smaller size and not something like this big, it definitely would not be as bad. I don't know. I think it might have been like, I can't quote you off the top of my head, but think like $40, $60 range. And the great thing is this is gonna last for a while and I can keep using it. But the turnaround was super quick. I think the place it shipped from was Florida, and of course I'm in Georgia, and I think it was literally like I sent my logo, I got my proofs in, and it like shipped out the next day or something, so super quick. I'll include the Etsy shop and everything like I did for the last video, so if you guys want to go check it out. But there's a lot of like table runner places on Etsy. I just ended up deciding to go with who had the fastest turnaround, and also somebody who could work without having a clear vector image. But luckily, because this is just like literally printing my logo, I didn't really have to worry about the clear vector image on this one. And I also ended up deciding to just go white, even though white is not my brand colors. As you can tell, my brand colors are kind of like a dark blue up here to a light blue to a gray / silver. So I did end up going with white because I mentioned this in the other video. I'll say it again for the next product. Because this isn't like a Pantone color and because it kind of has this like ombre effect to it, it can be very difficult getting things made because of the fact that the color isn't one thing. And so then I was like, okay, do I want to get the table runner to be the actual like color of my banner, so doing like a light blue or something? And then I realized that it was going to be almost impossible for me to match the colors because of the Pantone, since I don't have one. So I ended up just deciding, I was like, white is the safest bet in terms of like accidentally not getting the right color. So I did end up going with white. So I've got this table runner. I'm super excited. I think it's gonna be great. Like I said, that way if I don't want to put the banner up, I don't have to put my banner up. And then too, for doing like this indoor market, I don't have to worry because like I said, I won't have a tent, but I'll have this at least to do some type of branding because I won't be able to bring some of my other things to that market to kind of like elevate it, and especially since it's just me who's going to be working at the booth, because I do not expect this to be a busy market by any means. The only reason I'm doing it is because I was asked, and it is a free market, so I'm not expecting it to be busy, and it's just gonna be me. I don't know how much like crazy stuff that I'll bring to that particular market that's like not necessarily like extra things that I do, just because too I also have to lug it back and forth, just me. So I'm trying to be a little bit smart about it, because when it's just me doing things and it's in a building and I'm not certain how far I have to walk, all that type stuff, I keep it easy, I keep it simple, you know. I'm not trying to lose my mind at the start of the day. So that's the table runner. Now the next thing I want to show you guys is something that I am excited for, but I will give a fair warning because I had to like myself come to terms with this, and I had to explain it to somebody, which let me tell you guys, like I said before, because I don't have a clear vector image and because I don't have Pantones and because I have an ombre effect with my logo, it can cause some problems or some difficulties, but I think this still turned out great. I just had to come with like that realization that like, oh, this is how it has to be because really there's nothing to do, like you can't really help it per se. But I definitely feel like if I was somebody starting off a like crochet business with hopes to, you know, maybe really expand it and have like all this type stuff that I'm trying to do this year, see if you can have a clear vector image and see if maybe you don't have to do so much ombre, because the ombre really throws people off, because if you're printing it like on that table runner, it's zero problems, but if you're doing something like embroidery, it's not as easy. So what I have right here is I ended up getting some embroidered things. I've always wanted to have like a little outfit. I actually was going to do this last year for my November market, but I guess I decided I didn't want to do it. I don't know. Don't ask me. But I didn't get around to doing it. I have a lot of ideas that come in my head, and then I just find that I'm either too tired or don't have enough time to actually bring it to fruition. So that could have been the case last year, because I feel like last November I was pretty swamped. I feel like every day I'm swamped. But I did get around to doing it this year, so let me show you guys. The first thing I have right here is this hat, and so as you can see it says Traveling Pony Studios. So we could not do my full logo with the horse because of course look at the size, like it wouldn't fit. And this is where I'm talking about ombre, right? Because my normal logo would have like the ombre effect. It doesn't translate well to embroidery. So what we ended up having to do was just decide on particular colors and stick with that. So that's where you see that Traveling Pony Studios, like each word is its own color. We still have the outline, but there's just no ombre aspect to it. So I ended up getting two hats. We're gonna try and ignore my hair right now. But I got this hat right here, which I'm super excited for. I'm very much a hat person, as you guys know. This first market is supposed to be a little cold, but I should be fine. It is still gonna be 70 something during the day, so I'll brave it up. But I'm a hat person. I already told the person, I was like, do not be surprised at all. When winter time comes around, I'm gonna definitely be reaching out to get beanies, but I'm gonna really try and only wear this for markets because I can't tell you how many hats I have, and then once they go to the barn, they get stained or they get super dirty or they get like sun bleached. So this I'm gonna try and keep to be a market only. And as you can tell, I got 2 hats because typically for my larger markets it's myself and then my mother helps me and everything, just because it would be nearly impossible with the amount of orders I get and the amount of people that I have typically come up to my tent. There is just absolutely no way one person can do it. It's like by yourselves. Like for instance, my typical market day, I typically get between 50 to 100 orders, and that's orders, and that includes multiple items typically, and that doesn't even include people just coming up to look at everything. So there's just, I couldn't do it without help. Like I would actually go crazy. And then the second part of this, which I'm really excited for this, and it has grown on me. When I first saw it, like I said, I was having to come with realization of like, my ombre colors, but I'm really coming to this realization now. After seeing some other things that I've gotten done with my logo, I'm like, okay, this is actually so slay, because some people really struggled with my logo. But I got these cute little aprons. I wanted to get something to wear as well because I'm not a very fancy person. I feel so bad when people watch my YouTube videos because I feel like half the YouTubers I watch are always like in a really aesthetic lighting, or they're in a really aesthetic room, and they usually have like makeup done, hair done, which, you know, I don't really have much hair, but they also wear really fancy clothes. And I feel like whenever I go and record a video, I'm like always in a hoodie. I'm always in, like, if I'm not wearing a beanie, I've got my hood up. Like, I don't know. I don't really fit into the aesthetic world. So I apologize. I'm sorry if people don't like that, because I know a lot of people like that, but that's just not me. And so when I go to markets, I typically go for comfort over looks. I am amazed, and you know, power to the people who can dress up really fancy for markets, but I'm honestly exhausted before I even get to the market, and I really go for comfort. So like in the summertime last year I was doing markets, it was like 95 degrees. I was wearing a tank top and jeans. I don't wear shorts in public, but I always wear tank tops, and that's one of the things I wanted to have, something that like would look a little bit better even if I was wearing like a tank top. And then it got to the point where I was trying to decide, okay, what wearable clothing piece would I want? I wear tons of sweaters personally and hoodies, but when you're doing a market and it's 95 degrees, nobody's gonna want to wear a sweatshirt out in 95 degrees weather, you know. That's how it is. And then I was looking at short sleeves, but then same thing, I was like, well, I don't want to wear a short sleeve if I go to the market and it's 40 degrees or 30 degrees. Like, I'm gonna be living in a hoodie all the time. So I kept going back and forth. I was like, what do you even do? Like a vest? I love vests, but same thing. Summertime, a vest isn't gonna work. And then I had this epiphany. I was like, what about an apron? It's like, aprons are pretty lightweight. They're not full coverage. So even if it's like really, really hot, you can still wear it. And then too, in the winter time, when I'm wearing layers, I can still throw the sucker on top of the layers and it will be great. So I ended up deciding to go the apron route. So this is the little apron. Look, it's got my little logo on it. It has 3 pockets right here. Let me throw this bad boy on. I'm doing a lot of standing. Okay, so here you go. It's got my little logo. I've got 1, 2, 3 pockets. So I was thinking to put like a square reader if I need it, or like a scissors, or if I get any money, put it in the pockets. And I think it's super cute. I think, look at my hoodie. Because I was trying to put it on. I think it's super cute. I love the logo now that I've come to the realization, like I said, about the logo colors. Like, it just took me a hot minute to like be like, okay, this is how life is gonna be. I can't do ombre colors. But I think the actual embroidery itself turned out super cute. I'm trying to get my camera to focus on I still have Mr. Sloan, I still have Freya, so what more could I ask for? And I'm super excited to now have like a uniform. I did go back and forth a little bit about putting my name on it, and I did go back and forth about putting my mother's name on her one too that she wears, but then I started going, well, what happens if I ever have to have like outside help, or what happens if like I just need like a spare, or like if I'm going by myself, like I don't know. By the time I started thinking about it, I was like, you know what, I think just having my logo is gonna be fine. And then if I, like I said, if I ever needed to have somebody else wear it, it's not like they're wearing a logo that says my mother's name or anything, so it's just nice and easy. But I'm super excited to have a table runner now. I'm super excited to have a hat and a apron for my business, because those are both things that I wanted to do in 2024, but I really couldn't justify it. And I didn't feel like I was quite at that step, which I don't even know if I'm at that step right now. Maybe I'm just trying to do it so I feel a little bit better about my business. But I definitely feel like I feel a little bit better about trying to do things. I feel like last year, particularly, I feel like over these last couple of months, I've gotten a little bit more confident in my crocheting. I'm not like the most confident person, but I feel like after doing all these test recalls and having to try and do a lot more technically challenging things, I feel like I've gotten a little bit more confident in my crochet, to the point where I'm like, okay, trying to brand myself and get a little bit more attention. We'll see how long that lasts, because then I go to markets and I always feel like absolutely horrible about myself, because I'm like, man, my crocheting isn't this good. Markets are like some of the best things and the most humbling things in the world for me. So that's basically what I have to show you guys. I will include the shops. Now granted, the embroidery is done by somebody local to me. I will include her business too, but she typically does like a lot of horse show stuff, but she does outside things as well. And her turnaround was, I mean, I don't even know, like a week maybe. So not bad at all, especially considering the aprons were about 40,000 stitches. So a lot more than a normal person's logo would probably be. But overall, I'm super excited to have them. I cannot wait to take photos and show you guys the new setup once it's all done and set up at a market. And I feel like it's just a really good positive step forward for my setup and my business for this year, just to try and elevate it a little bit. I kind of get bored, so I always got to change things up. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. But honestly, I've got zero clue what that video is going to be, so you know as much as I do. But I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!